Hello everyone, welcome back to Craxoid. Today I am so excited to be back with a new video where we'll be comparing 4 of the top custom ROMs in the market: Crdroid, Evolution X, ArrowOS and Project 404 ROM, and putting them to the ultimate test. So basically our test will include performance related tests and benchmark tests like Antutu benchmark, Geekbench 5 and 6, and CPU related tests like CPU throttling test. And during our CPU throttling test, our device was heated up to 58 degrees Celsius, which is significantly higher than what most of the phones are designed to handle. And that can potentially damage the CPU permanently. But we had to push our device to their limits to give you the accurate results and help you choose the best ROM for your device. In addition to that, we'll also be testing the ROMs in a real life scenario like playing games, watching videos, watching YouTube shorts and recording 4K videos and more. We'll also be looking at battery drainage, thermal management, and other critical factors that can affect your device overall performance. Our goal is to give you a complete picture of each ROM so that you can choose which one is right for you. Furthermore, at the end of this video, you'll be able to choose which custom ROM is better suited for you. So without further ado, let's start the video. As you can see, we have taken every step to ensure a fair and accurate comparison between these 4 popular custom ROMs. All of them are based on the latest version of Android 13, and use the same Quicksilver kernel by default. Additionally, they are all based on the latest build from April 2023. To make sure our comparison is as accurate as possible, we have made sure that all settings on both devices are identical, including Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and screen brightness. We are conducting this test on a Redmi Note 8 device, and it's worth noting that all devices have the same battery percentage of 100%. So now let's jump into our first test and see how they react in the real life scenarios. Boot test. We'll kick off this ultimate comparison between all 4 custom ROMs with the boot test. For more accurate result and comparison, I'll do this boot test 2 times in a row back to back, so that this will give us an idea of how quickly each ROM can start up and get us using our phone. But before we begin, let's take a quick look at the battery percentage and temperature of each ROM, and it is displayed on the screen. This will help us evaluate how efficient each ROM is at managing power. To start this test, we'll tap the restart button on all the phones simultaneously and fast forward the boot process. So by doing this, we'll be able to determine which ROM can get us up and running faster. This test is crucial because a slow boot time can be frustrating, especially if we need to use our phone quickly. Therefore, this test will give us an idea of how well each ROM is optimized for quick boot times. So it is important to note that all of the 4 custom ROMs have the same battery percentage and with a full 100% on each of them. So this is to ensure a fair comparison between them all. So overall, the result of this test will help us determine which ROM provides a better user experience and manage the boot process efficiently. So after running the boot test twice on all custom ROMs, we have the results. ArrowOS proved to be the fastest, taking only 33 seconds in the first test and 38 seconds in the second test. On the other hand, Project 404 took the longest with a boot time of 1 minute and 11 seconds in the first test and 1 minute and 13 seconds in the second test. You can view the results for the other custom ROMs on the screen. So throughout the boot test, we have closely monitored the battery percentage and the temperature. So Evolution X has maintained a stable temperature and battery percentage with only 1 degree rise in temperature during both the tests. Similarly, Crdroid and ArrowOS showed a slight increase of 1 degree Celsius in the first test and 2 degrees Celsius in the second, with no significant impact on battery percentage. However, Project 404 showed a 2 degrees Celsius temperature increase during both tests with no change in battery percentage. You can also see the result on the screen. Antutu benchmark test. So let's move on to the next part of our comparison, the Antutu benchmark test. This test measures the overall performance of phone's CPU, GPU, memory and other components, giving us a clear idea of which custom ROM performs better in terms of overall phone performance. Before we start the test, we'll check the current battery temperature and percentage of all custom ROMs, which is crucial as excessive heat and battery drain can affect the phone's performance during the benchmark test. You can view this information on the screen. To ensure a fair start, we'll tap on the Run Test button on all custom ROMs simultaneously. The test may take around 10 minutes to complete, so we'll fast forward this process. After waiting for approximately 10 minutes, all the custom ROMs have completed the Antutu benchmark test. Crdroid ROM was the quickest to finish, taking just 10 minutes and 30 seconds, while ArrowOS was close behind with a time of 10 minutes and 35 seconds, securing the second position. And on the other hand, Project 404 took 10 minutes and 39 seconds to complete the test, and EvolutionX took the longest with a time of 10 minutes and 46 seconds. So during the benchmark test, we monitored the battery percentage and temperature as well. We found that Crdroid and Project 404 consumed less battery than the others, with a battery drop of 5% and a temperature increase of 4 degrees Celsius. However, ArrowOS showed the most battery drain with a 7% drop and the highest temperature increase of 6 degrees Celsius. In terms of Antutu benchmark score, again Crdroid ROM had the highest score, followed by Project 404 ROM and ArrowOS, and lastly EvolutionX ROM. This information will be useful for you to decide which custom ROM is the best choice for your specific need. Geekbench 5 test. Now it's time to move on to the Geekbench 5 test, and this test measures a phone's single core and multi-core performance, providing us with a better understanding of how well each custom ROM's CPU performs. Before we begin, we can take a quick look at the current battery temperature and percentage of all custom ROMs displayed on the screen. So to start the test, we'll tap on the Run button simultaneously on all custom ROMs to ensure a fair and equal start. The test may take a few minutes to complete, so we'll fast forward the process and present you with the final result. After the completion of Geekbench 5 test, we'll compare the single core and multi-core scores of each custom ROM and determine which one performs better. This information will help you decide which custom ROM is the right choice for your specific need. So after completing the Geekbench 5 test, we have the results for all custom ROMs. ArrowOS takes the lead with the fastest completion time of 6 minutes and 39 seconds, followed by Crdroid with a time of 6 minutes and 48 seconds. EvolutionX and Project 404 both took the same time of 6 minutes and 53 seconds to complete the test. In terms of battery management, again ArrowOS performs the best with a battery drop of 4% and a temperature rise of 4 degrees Celsius. On the other hand, EvolutionX has the most significant battery drop of 6% and a temperature rise of 5 degrees Celsius. You can find the rest of the results displayed on the screen. As for the scores, one more time, ArrowOS has the highest single core score of 303 and the highest multi-core score of 1308. While Crdroid has the lowest single core score and Project 404 has the lowest multi-core score. However, it's important to note that all the custom ROMs have very similar results with minor variations in scores. Therefore, overall performance may not be significantly different in all the custom ROMs. Geekbench 6 test. So now it's time for the Geekbench 6 test, and before we start, let's take a moment to check the current battery temperature and battery percentage. For this test, I'll start with the benchmark simultaneously on all the ROMs and measure any changes in their battery temperature and percentage before and after the test. As before, I'll fast forward this process. It's worth noting that the Geekbench 6 benchmark test measures both the CPU and GPU performance of a device. This means that the result of this test will give us a good indication of how well the custom ROMs perform when it comes to processing power. So after approximately about 15 minutes, all of the custom ROMs completed the Geekbench 6 test. Similar to the previous Geekbench 5 test, ArrowOS took the lead with a slight margin, completing the test in 16 minutes and 34 seconds. Crdroid followed closely behind, taking almost the same time to complete the test at 16 minutes and 39 seconds. Project 404 and Evolution X took comparatively longer to finish. In terms of battery management, once again ArrowOS showed better results than the others, with a battery drop of 9% and a rise in temperature of 5 degrees Celsius during the test. However, Crdroid and Project 404 showed exact same results with a battery drain of 10% and a rise in temperature of 5 degrees Celsius. While Evolution X had comparatively higher battery drain of 11% and rise in temperature of 6 degrees Celsius. Regarding the Geekbench scores, ArrowOS has a slightly higher score than the other ROMs in single core performance with score of 134. On the other hand, Evolution X had a comparatively higher score than the other in multi-core performance with a score of 792. You can view the rest of the data on the screen. CPU throttling test. Next on our list is the extreme CPU throttling test, which we'll be conducting after completing the Antutu benchmark and Geekbench test. But before we move on to the test, let's quickly take a look at the current battery temperature and battery percentage, which you can also see on the screen. After confirming the battery stats, we'll simultaneously begin the CPU throttling test and observe which one performs better. This particular test is designed to push the device processor to its limit and measure its performance under extreme condition, so it will run for full 15 minutes without any breaks or pause. Throughout the test, we'll fast forward the video so you don't have to wait for the entire duration. So let's see how each custom ROMs perform under these extreme conditions. As I was keeping a close eye on the CPU throttling test, I noticed that the phone's temperature was quickly rising and it reached a very high temperature of 58 degrees Celsius. I was so worried because this kind of temperature can harm the phone's CPU. However, I didn't let that distract me. I stayed focused to see how all the custom ROMs would perform under these extreme conditions. So keep watching to find out the results of this nail-biting test. After 15 minutes of the extreme CPU throttling test, all the custom ROMs completed the test with CPU throttle to its maximum performance between 86% to 90%. Their average score is also somewhat similar, but the Crdroid ROM has the lowest average score of 125754 GIPS. On the other hand, ArrowOS has a comparatively higher score than the others with an average score of 134686. And when it comes to battery consumption, ArrowOS performed better than the other custom ROMs with only a 16% battery drop and a 12 degrees Celsius temperature rise. Evolution X had the most significant drop in battery percentage of 18% and a temperature rise of 14 degrees Celsius. It's worth noting that after ArrowOS, both Project 404 and Crdroid had almost identical results with only a 1% battery difference and a 1 degree Celsius temperature difference. YouTube Shorts. Now that we have completed all the performance and CPU related tests, let's move on to some real world usage tests. One of the most popular activities on smartphones nowadays is watching YouTube Shorts, so that's what we'll do next. I'll be watching YouTube Shorts continuously for exactly 15 minutes on each custom ROMs and I'll report back with the results. You can view the current battery temperature and percentage on the screen while I do so. This test will give us an idea of how well these custom ROMs perform in day-to-day usage scenarios, which is ultimately what matters most to many users. It will also give us a better understanding of how well each custom ROM manages battery life and thermal management under real-world workloads. It's worth mentioning that tests like this in real-life situations are crucial to understanding how a device will perform in daily use. Although benchmark tests can offer helpful insights into the raw power of device, testing it in real-life scenarios like watching videos or browsing the webs can reveal how well a device can handle everyday tasks. So buckle up and let's see how they perform. After watching YouTube Shorts for 15 minutes on each custom ROMs, now let's get to the results. Evolution X and Project 404 showed the must battery drain with a decrease of 6%. However, it is important to note that Evolution X managed to cool down the phone's temperature by 2 degrees Celsius, which is a great result. On the other hand, both ROS and Crdroid performed better in terms of battery drain with only a 3% decrease in battery percentage. However, it's worth mentioning that all custom ROMs help to cool down the phone to some degree, with ROS being the only one to show a 1 degree Celsius rise in temperature. These results gives us a better understanding of how well each custom ROM manages battery life and thermal management during real-world uses. But there's more to come, so stay tuned for our next test. Subway Surfer. Now that we have checked out how these custom ROMs perform with watching videos, let's move on to the another important real-life test, gaming. For this test, I'll be playing most popular Subway Surfer on each custom ROM for 15 minutes straight while keeping an eye on the battery temperature and percentage displayed on the screen. This will give us valuable insights into how well these custom ROMs can handle intensive gaming sessions and how they perform when it comes to battery drain and thermal management. Once the 15-minute gaming sessions are over, we'll analyze the results and compare the performance of both ROMs. So get ready to see how these custom ROMs stack up against each other when it comes to mobile gaming. After playing Subway Surfer for 15 minutes straight on each custom ROM, we have got some interesting results to share. First, both Project 404 and Crdroid ROMs managed to maintain a consistent temperature throughout the gameplay session, which is impressive in terms of thermal management. However, Evolution X didn't fare as well as the others in the test, as it showed a temperature rise of 2 degrees Celsius higher than the rest. It's worth noting that Evolution X performed better than the other ROMs in the YouTube short test, but it seems like it struggled with handling intensive gaming sessions. When it comes to battery drain, Evolution X come out on top, consuming only 5% of battery during the gameplay session. ROS and Project 404 followed closely with 7% and 9% battery drain respectively. Surprisingly, Crdroid, which didn't show any temperature rise, had the most significant battery drain with 9%. Overall, this gaming test helped us evaluate how well each custom ROM can handle intensive tasks like gaming and how they perform in terms of battery drain and thermal management. And it's important to note that each ROM performed differently in different scenarios, and it's up to the user to decide which aspect matters most to them. 4K video recording test. Now that we have tested how well these custom ROMs perform during real life scenarios like watching YouTube shorts and playing games, it's time to move on to the next test, 4K video recording. This is an important test for anyone who loves to capture high quality videos on their smartphones. For this test, I'll be recording a 4K video at 30 frames per second for 15 minutes straight on both custom ROMs simultaneously, and you can view current battery temperature and percentage of each ROM on the screen. This will give us valuable insights into how well these ROMs can manage resource while performing a resource intensive task like video recording. You will be able to monitor the current battery temperature and battery percentage on the screen during the test as well. This test will help us evaluate the overall performance of both custom ROMs in terms of battery consumption, temperature management and video quality. So let's see how these ROMs handle the stress of recording high quality video. After recording a 4K video at 30 fps for 15 minutes on both custom ROMs, we have the results. Crdroid once again proved to be the most efficient in terms of thermal management with a temperature increase of only 7 degrees Celsius. ROS and Project 404 were close behind with an 8 degrees Celsius rise in temperature, while Evolution X had the highest temperature increase with an 11 degrees Celsius rise. In terms of battery draining, Project 404 ROM performed the best with only a 16% drop in battery, while ROS had the highest battery drain at 20%. Both Evolution X and Crdroid had a similar battery drain of 18%. These findings could be particularly useful for users who frequently record long videos and need a ROM that can handle such tasks without causing battery drain or overheating issues. RAM management test. As we approach the end of our comprehensive performance testing, it's time to evaluate how well these custom ROMs can handle RAM management. After pushing our device to the limits with various tests, this next test will be crucial in determining which ROM can efficiently manage multiple apps running in the background. In this test, I'll be opening 15 identical apps simultaneously on each custom ROM and monitoring their RAM usage closely. This will allow us to compare and determine which ROM has superior RAM management capabilities. This test will give us a clear understanding of which ROM has better RAM management capabilities and can handle multiple apps running in the background efficiently. So let's see which ROM comes out on the top in this critical test. So after opening all 15 identical apps on both custom ROMs, I decided to test their RAM management capabilities by opening the phone dialer app on each ROM. To my disappointment, all the ROMs struggled with opening the dialer app without reloading. As the RAM management test continued, I systematically opened each of the remaining 14 identical apps on both custom ROMs while monitoring their performance. While some apps opened smoothly, others were reloaded multiple times, indicating potential issues with RAM management. After completing the test, the final results were displayed on the screen. Unfortunately, all of the custom ROMs demonstrated poor RAM management, struggling to keep even a few apps open without reloading. In terms of specific results, Evolution X was the best performer, managing to keep 4 apps open without reloading, followed by ArrowOS with 3 apps and then Crdroid with only 2. Project 404 on the other hand showed poor results, only managing to keep a single app open without reloading. Overall, these results suggest that all of the custom ROMs may struggle to handle multiple apps running in the background, which could be a concern for users who frequently multitask on their device. But these results may be due to the low battery percentage and higher battery temperature on each ROM. As the phones went through many intensive tests without any rest, it may have affected the RAM management capabilities of the ROMs. Conclusion. To wrap up our performance comparison test, it is important to note that each custom ROM has its own set of strength and weakness. After running our test, we can confidently say that each ROM performed well, but some stood out from the rest. ArrowOS, for instance, had the best overall performance by completing intensive tasks quickly. However, when it comes to battery draining, Project 404 ROM had the best results, followed by ArrowOS. And in contrast, Crdroid and Evolution X drained the battery percentage more quickly. Thermal management is also crucial, and in this aspect, Crdroid proved to be the most effective. ArrowOS and Project 404 ROM followed closely behind, while Evolution X fell short in maintaining the temperature during intensive tasks. When it comes to overall scores, ArrowOS ranked the highest, followed by Project 404 ROM and then Crdroid. Evolution X had the lowest score, however, Evolution X was the best when it comes to RAM management, followed by ArrowOS, Crdroid and Project 404 ROM. It's worth noting that the results of our test were based on Redmi Note 8 device and other devices may yield different outcomes. We also want to clarify that we do not intend to criticize or harm any particular custom ROM, as we ourselves enjoy using them. We hope you found this video informative and we welcome your comments and feedback. We are also curious to know which custom ROMs are your favorites, so please feel free to share your thoughts below. Thank you so much for watching our video till the end, and if you liked our video then don't forget to hit the like button, comment down below, share this video and subscribe to Craxoid. Also hit the notification bell. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.